The fabulous wealth of the TBN broadcasting network and Matt and Laurie Crouch. Does TBN still need your donations? Well, we'll see. We'll show you some of the luxurious homes that Matt and Laurie Crouch own, plus their multi-million-dollar private jet. So, look at this fabulous $11 million ranch in Colorado, nestled in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. Suffering for Jesus there in Colorado. How did TBN get all their wealth? Well, by selling miracles originally when John and Paul started the network. They would promise people miracles if they would send in donations. And of course, that's how they built this network. It wasn't the Lord, because the Lord doesn't operate like that. So they could say it was God all they want, but Jesus never sold a miracle the whole time he walked the earth. And neither should we. So all this wealth that TBN acquired was ill-gotten. And they're still acquiring hundreds of millions of dollars every year. Here's their fabulous home in Texas with the beautiful landscaping and tennis courts, swimming pool, suffering for Jesus here in Texas. They own numerous real estate holdings around the world, many satellite networks. TBN has enough money. They should be ashamed of themselves asking for donations. They don't need another donation. How about helping somebody else for a change instead of helping yourself? But it's like the Bible says, greed is never satisfied. The lust and the love of money is the root of all evil. Here's TBN's jet. This is not exactly their jet, but it's a picture of a jet that's similar to the one that they own, and it could be anywhere from $20 million to $40 million for this jet. And this is from a 2012 article by the Daily Mail. Their expenditures: $100,000 for a doghouse, $50 million on a jet, $8 million for Jan's jet. 13 properties listed as guest homes or parsonages. $300,000 to $500,000 for meals for the network directors. I don't think I spent $500,000 in my life on food. Living large off those seed faith gifts. It says here the Crouches founded TBN in 1973, and it grew into an international empire. It has 78 satellites and more than 18,000 television and cable affiliates, and owns 7 other networks and many different headquarters, of course, around the world. Vast real estate holdings. Now, like I said, this is from 2012. I have some updated financials, and I'll do part 2, and we'll go over their recent filings of the hundreds of millions of dollars that they take in. During TBN's Praise-a-thon earlier this month, the preacher exhorted viewers to believe, fear not, 3 times, count down from 10, and then rush to the phone with donations in exchange, he said. They would receive a miracle from God about this time tomorrow. Within seconds, all 200 phone lines were busy. Yeah, foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? Ministry watchdogs have questioned how TBN raises funds. The network, whose headquarters is pictured, is seen on every continent but Antarctica 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, taking in $92 million in donations in 2010 and $175 million in tax-free revenue. Must be nice. Yet they're still asking for donations, still telling you to send money to TBN. Did they make $600 million on a sale of some of their local TV stations. We'll talk about that in the next video. You might want to go to Brenda Crouch's YouTube channel and hear the testimony of Paul Crouch Jr. and how he got basically booted from the network and from his inheritance. That's Brenda Crouch, Inside Voice on YouTube, and Paul goes into detail about his father's alcoholism. Why did Paul Sr. become an alcoholic? Because he probably couldn't stand himself and the scamming that he was doing. It's hard to live with that kind of thing and claim that you love Jesus and yet you're scamming his people by selling miracles to build your own personal wealth. Proverbs 15:27, he that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. That's a word to the wise. There again, you see the expenditures of TBN, and that's from an article from 2012. But we have many, many more financial information to talk to you about in our next video on the fabulous wealth of the TBN network. And they actually had the nerve last night to have Jensen Franklin on with Matt and Laurie asking for donations. Oh, let's keep TBN on the air and let's keep TBN preaching the gospel. You don't need any more money, Matt and Laurie. You don't need to ask for another donation. Why don't you try helping another person out, like another person that has a ministry that could use some help? That would be nice. Anyway, check out, thanks for listening, and look for part 2, and check out my other videos on my YouTube channel, Prophetic News TV, and my radio program, Prophetic News Radio on Spreaker. God bless you.